welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. Everybody, it's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Today we are here to talk because we have a new Man of Steel. James Gunn has announced his first major casting in the rebooted DCU that's coming in 2 years, 2025. Yeah. After, I think on Juneteenth weekend, he auditioned 6 people in pairs. He auditioned 3 pairs of people, including Nicholas Hoult, who I think we've talked about, who I thought would be a good Superman, but I guess you disagree. And then the guy who actually ended up winning it, David Cornsweet. Cornsweet. Yeah, he is. I think I know him from the movie Pearl, which is part of like that X movie film series.
Okay.
Which I actually enjoyed, and I'm not one for horror movies like that.
Yeah.
And he was also in the HBO miniseries called We Own This City. It was about the corrupt Baltimore Police Department on HBO. It's actually pretty good if you haven't.
Yes.
And then the Punisher is in it too.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where I've seen this guy, and that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So you did see it. Yeah, man. So he got casted, and I saw him. I was like, okay. I because I know him, or I know him because I'm familiar with him. Right. I was like, okay. I think I'm cool with this. They're always he's not someone I would have thought to be Superman. But there are always people, these people are never who you think they are. Like Robert Pattinson, I didn't know he was going to be like that. I didn't know Ben Affleck was going to be like that. So, I can trust James Gunn saw something.
Right.
And the thing that's funny, bro, when he was casted, a lot of people kept saying he looks just like Henry Cavill. Like, you guys should have kept Henry Cavill. And I was like, what are you guys talking about, right? Because I remember he's in my mind from these shows.
Yo.
And then I started looking, and I'm like, yo, he kind of do. Like, he kind of do.
Face to face. Like, if there was a screen, if you're watching like you're watching us, it would look like twins were talking.
Bro, it's just a younger him, basically. The same jawline. They even have, there's a picture of him with, the curl. That's what Superman looks like, I guess, bro.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this Man of Steel. It's funny. It's funny that they're still doing this despite what it's doing to their current lineup, though. That's actually kind of what I want to get your thoughts on, because me and you both enjoyed The Flash. I think it's fair to say we liked it. I think we both gave it a 4.
Yeah, no, for what it was, that was a great movie to not do anything with, because at this point, it didn't do well. We can trash it because Warner Brothers can literally be like, whatever. James Gunn can be like, that never happened, and we're just gonna.
The thing is, James Gunn was saying this is supposed to reset the universe.
Reset, right?
And the after credit scene basically explained how some people are going to be the same and some are going to be different.
Right.
I don't know. It's funny that I feel like they should have just waited for these 4 movies to end and then started making announcements about the next phase.
I agree.
Yeah, Flash is. I think Blue Beetle might surprise people, but I definitely don't think Aquaman is going to do as well as if Flash did this poorly.
I don't think Aquaman's going to do well at all. I don't like the story. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care to see that film.
I don't either.
He's definitely one of my favorite actors, but when it comes to Aquaman, I'm like, yo, he's cool, but he's actually cooler not solo. All right.
You mean when he's with other people?
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I like the first Aquaman. I don't think I'm gonna like this one. But maybe the star power will carry it, because with the Flash, they couldn't rely on star power because of their star.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
I really feel like I totally agree. At least maybe a year out, we should be learning about this. Not
2 years before. Yeah, I agree.
2 years before. We know, it takes time to make a movie. I would have loved for this to have been kind of a secret.
Me too. I agree.
You
And
know,
there's still, and I think Comic Con is coming up, and I think Warner Brothers is still like they actually might have a presence there. So what else are they going to announce, bro? Like they really need to, like unless they have made the dirt decision internally, like we're just going to lose money on these movies,
right.
then I
That's
think
what it
that
feels like.
yeah,
When they, the new acquisition and even switching over like with HBO
yeah,
and
man,
it's like different things like that.
right. How's
It
that
just
Batgirl
feels like
movie
they're
looking
like
now, bro? That's
whatever for the next 2 years. It doesn't matter how much money we lose. We have James Gunn. He's gonna fix it all.
yeah. Hopefully, but I mean, hopefully, but you see, the thing is, they're tarnishing their brand
They are.
by doing that.
It's making me not again. It's like the idea is like I don't care. I'm gonna see it. You guys know we're gonna see it, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna like go completely out of my way to go see these. I want to see Blue Beetle, but
I do too. I want to see.
yeah,
Actually, that movie looks pretty good to me.
yeah.
I
But I
think.
think the Aquaman, like I would have preferred if you can that
Yeah,
instead of the idea that they potentially were going to can the Flash.
I would have. They should have canned both of them and kept Batgirl. That's what they should have done for real, for real. But
I still don't understand when a movie that is 75% done
it was
that you
more than
just like
75. I think it was done. I think that shit was ready to release, bro. But
oh
remember, they
I
screened
was
it
under the
for the.
impression it wasn't done and they just canceled it.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that was a tirade. um, yeah, it's just funny, but yeah, we got our new guy. He is playing the part. Um, also, not to be lost in this, we got our Lois Lane, Rachel
Yeah,
Brosnahan, who is fabulous in the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I don't know if you watched that show.
I don't.
That and she was in House of Cards for a little bit. Yeah, she is so good
Yeah.
in that show. Like I can't wait to see what she's gonna do with the role. And so I guess the only other thing we need is Lex Luthor. Although I don't know if he's gonna be in this movie. So apparently story details came out with this casting announcement too, where Superman he's a younger man, which is probably why they couldn't use Henry Cavill. But he's like,
Yeah.
in his mid-20s and he moves to the big city, and that's when he's basically like debuting as Superman. But in
Mhm.
this world, superheroes already exist. Like the Authority exists apparently.
Mm.
There's a comic book called Superman and the Authority. Very good. It came out recently within the last couple of years. That was really good. But their
So
superhero team. I think we talked about it when James Gunn announced them.
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
and yeah, they already exist. So Superman's gonna go and meet them. So yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Again, I do like that we finally got our guy. But
Yeah.
I like his acting, and like we said, the way when I was looking at him, now I actually like I see Superman in him, bro.
Right.
So
I would have preferred if they didn't like don't make Henry Cavill's like Superman just not exist, right? I'm cool with this one, but the idea that Henry Cavill could still come back and play like a very older Superman, like
yeah, man, that would
I'd
be
be
cool.
open to that.
The multiverse
But
exists. That would be cool, man. Because yeah,
yeah,
Henry Cavill. I mean, he's a great Superman. I think Man of Steel is
yeah.
underrated to this day. Now
Oh
I think
man, it's
retroactively,
technically the best out of the films, but
out of
it
what films?
out of that small part of like that small time frame of Warner Brothers films where like before the Justice League and we're not Batman's don't we don't talk about those are in their own category.
I
But
think that I really like that one. I don't know. I might put the first Wonder Woman above that one though.
first one of them was an awesome film, but it's now going to be looked down on because of how horrible
The
the
sequel.
second one was.
But that's what I was just about to say. I think Man of Steel gets a lot of hate because of it was the first film in a now failed universe. So,
Right.
but I mean, yeah, I think it was dope. And speaking of, I just like let me just go on a bit of a diatribe. It's just have you noticed how a lot of like I think it's you're allowed to like both Superman like the Marvel and DCU stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like because I think there are a lot of people who are now like it's funny when you look at like the worst place to look, Twitter. But like there's some people who are basically like I think they enjoy when one universe fails over the other for whatever reason, and I don't
Oh
I don't
yeah.
really get that. It's like ha ha ha. our your Flash movie was supposed to be great and now it's failing. Ah ha ha. Nobody liked Thor: Love and Thunder. The MCU is trash. Ha ha ha. My top 10 movies made $1 billion and yours couldn't scratch that. It's like this pettiness. I feel like is bad for both parties, and I really
Oh,
wish it would stop.
it's
Um,
human nature. It's the way society
and
is.
it's funny because it's like you're not getting paid by these companies either
No,
way. Like, I
it's
don't
this
know.
idea that we're always in competition and we
Yeah,
have to be in competition.
yeah,
Like I'm listening to Think Like a Monk, and it's just like even in conversation, we always have to add, "Oh yeah, well, this happened to me,"
yeah.
you
Right.
know.
When someone's telling
So
you something, you always have to, yeah, like, yeah. It's just it's interesting, and I bring that up because when the Superman announcement came out, I saw instead of like being focused on Superman, there were a lot of people talking about, oh well, okay, well now you have no reason to go watch these other two like DC. I mean, with like we just said basically, but you have no
mhm.
reason to go watch the other two DC movies. It's gonna stink, and then if you weren't loving what's his name, the announcement, if you're not in love with James Gunn, you're finding a reason to hate on this. Whether it's Henry Cavill is your Superman and this guy shouldn't be it, or the DCU was terrible and this shouldn't be it. It's just I don't know. It's I don't want to say because I'm not angered or frustrated by it. It's just interesting is the word that comes to mind. It's just I don't get what people get out of that type of thing, man. It's
I agree.
funny to me.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But anyway, that was a long way of saying I think it's gonna be good, man. James Gunn, I think he clearly has a plan.
Right.
Chapter one, we got what I think it was like 10 to 13 projects announced already, and he hasn't even announced all of them. So looking forward to that. Maybe at Comic Con we'll find out a little bit more, man. But yeah,
He makes great stuff, man.
yeah,
And so, with that being said, I don't see every single project being a complete utter like it's just the biggest thing in the world,
hmm
but there is a good chance that this universe is going to have a nice steady.
I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that. I don't think like because he's made some movies that I don't like. I mean, like he made kind of a Superman movie. I forget what it was called, but it was basically a little boy from another planet, but he was evil. He had all the Superman's powers, but he was evil.
Ah,
I
yeah.
think it was called
Yeah.
Burn, actually, Burn or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, I enjoyed it, but or how do I say this? I enjoyed it while I was watching. Then at the end, I was like, yeah, I didn't really care for that. But it wasn't anything like it's not anything I hated. Like I hated Iron Man 2 when I saw it. I was pissed I paid to
Oh,
see that, and
yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder, and a whole bunch of the other superhero movies. There are a bunch of movies we go through. I paid for that I hated.
Right.
But yeah, I think to your point, he's not going to make a movie like that where I'm going to be like, man,
Mhm.
we should not have watched that.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So got our new Soups. He is my absolute all-time favorite superhero. I literally cannot wait to see what they do
Yeah.
with him. I really hope he gets justice in a superhero in a good movie because honestly, still, I think the best one is the one from the '70s. As much as I love Man of Steel and Henry Cavill, the
Mm.
best one is Superman 1 and 2 from the '70s with Christopher Reeves. So
Christopher Reeves, man, just an icon. Just the true feeling of Clark Kent and Superman.
it
Yeah.
was so good, man. But yo, that's all we had to say, bro. Superman is casted. What do you guys think? Are you looking forward to Superman Legacy, even though it's 2 years away?
And it'll be here in
Literally.
no time.
Yeah, man. That's the scary part. Time flies, bro.
Yeah.
Like seriously. But yeah, man. Let us know your thoughts right down there, y'all. Thank you for listening, and until next time, we out.
Deuces.